Good evening. Welcome to our regular scheduled commission meeting, October 11th. The time is now 7:07. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Irvin. Here. Commissioner Kelly,
Present.
Commissioner Williams. Here. Mayor Taylor.
Here. As we go into our standby invocation, led by.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy holy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Oh God, we come tonight thanking you for all of your blessings. Continue to watch over this city. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Do those things which are pleasing in your sight. No, God, as we come tonight, we lift up those who are dealing with breast cancer. We thank you, God, for those that have survived. Continue to bring awareness to all of our spirits. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And before we take our seats, we're going to ask the commission to join Commissioner Williams on the floor for a special presentation.
name and microphone. Good evening, everyone. We would just like to first thank you all so much for being here and for allowing us and helping us to bring awareness to a disease, a cancer that affects so many women, and not only women, but we've all known women throughout our lives that have either battled breast cancer, survived it, or unfortunately passed away with it. And so at this time, we want to not only bring awareness, but we want to remember those that have been affected, because we know that breast cancer not only affects the patient, but it also affects the family. And so just want to read a few words and then invite whoever want to come up and take a picture with us. I see you, Veronica Johnson. Okay. My namesake. Breast Cancer Awareness Month began in 1985 as a partnership between the American Cancer Society and the pharmaceutical division. The early goal of Breast Cancer Awareness Month was to educate women and men about breast cancer and early detection tests so that they could take charge of their breast health. One of the key goals was to promote mammograms, which, ladies, I hope you're getting your mammograms yearly, as an important tool to be used in the fight against breast cancer. During the month of October, breast cancer survivors and those with breast cancer are celebrated, encouraged, and loved on to share their stories. This month is also dedicated to raising funds for breast cancer research and other related causes. You may not know that breast cancer is the most common cancer in women in the US. However, it can be treated successfully. We know that there are a few risks that breast cancer includes. Risk number one, being a woman. Simply being a woman is the biggest risk factor for developing breast cancer. Age, like so many other diseases, the risk increases the older we get. And family history. If you've had one first-degree family relative, sister, mother, daughter, diagnosed with breast cancer, your risk is doubled. Understanding your family history is key to beating breast cancer. We know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month has received notoriety from not only corporations, cities, municipalities, but all over the world. It's the first nationwide campaign that utilized the pink ribbon, and I hope everyone got their pink ribbon, back in 1992 by Estee Lauder Cosmetics. There's a fun fact. The NFL has also become one of the largest supporters of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and nearly all players, coaches, and referees wear pink ribbon each month to show their support. We know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a chance for all Americans, and not only Americans, but everyone all over the world, to acknowledge the men and women whose lives have been affected by breast cancer. At this time, we would like to just remember those that not only lost their lives, but we know that you know someone, and we would like for you to stand so that we can remember them. We're going to take a few moments of silent meditation. Thank you. Thank you all so much. You may be seated, and we appreciate everyone that's wearing pink. And we're going to take a photo with the commission. And of course, like I said, if you want to join us, come on up. Okay. Come on. Shout out to our fingers on the move program.
So thank you, Commissioner Williams, for making sure and ensuring that every year that we acknowledge and bring awareness to breast cancer. So thank you for that. As we get ready to go to our approval of the consent agenda, do we have any pulls, deletions, or deferrals from the consent agenda? Commissioner Kelly?
Yes, I want to pull number 6, number 7, and 14.
6, 7, and 14. Anyone else? Okay, and I would like to pull number 5 and number 15. All right, so I have 5, 6, 7, 14, and 15. All right, can I get a motion to approve tonight's consent
Move it.
agenda? Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin. Yes. Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, can I get a motion to move for the approval of tonight's agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty, can I have, we're going into approval of our minutes. Approval of the minutes on the special commission meeting minutes, August 24th, 2023.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Can I have the approval of the special commission meeting minutes, August 29th, 2023?
Move it.
Moved by moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, Madam Clerk, do we have any District 1, District 2 county reports?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All righty, so we're going into, we have any public presentations we already went through. So we're gonna go into our citizens forum. Madam Clerk, Mr. Clerk, can you please read into record to how to participate into citizens forum?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at the Opa-locka Municipal Complex, City Commission Chambers, 780 Fisherman Street, 3rd floor, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is part of the commission meeting agenda. City commission meetings are aired through live stream at youtube.com/user/city of Opa-locka.
All right, citizens forum is open.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Brian Dennis, address 2140 Northwest, 2140 York Street. I want to respond to something that happened at the last commission meeting where I was called a liar. I don't have the documents with me, but I did find the documents of the consulting agreement that the manager then wanted me to agree to. And so in the process of this, calling me a liar, I actually have the agreement. Now, what they wanted me to do was go into this agreement and suit the agreement to my liking. Here's the thing with it. For $25,000, anything less than $25,000 does not have to come before the commission. That's the David Shivington ordinance or resolution. And so what I was saying to the manager and Mr. Ellis when they met with me at that time, and the date is on there, November 2022, take me in the front of the commission. Why was I saying take me in the front of the commission? Because if you vote on me to do something as a consultant for the city, and I am making what I should make is $65,000 to $75,000 a year, you're going to see the results as a consultant of what you're going to get. None of these projects that's went up at the old flea market, this building going up over here, all of these projects would have had residents from the city of Opa-locka on them. Why? Because they would have been enforced, would have had a job fair where the citizens would have been able to apply for those positions. Like I said, if you go on 22nd Avenue every morning, you see nobody from the city of Opa-locka working on those projects. Nobody. So now, the second thing that I want to get, because I have some sacerdotal duties I must do this evening. Y'all need to go do your homework, because I do mine. So last year, on October the 26th, see, in 11 days, this going to come back. What do you talk about, Minister Dennis? It's going to be a year that we talking about the manager background, and we don't have a city manager here permanently. Now, he says that he was a part of this firm. Well, when our son bids the firm, his name doesn't come up on any of this stuff. The name that comes on it is Louis A. Cabrera Holder, MD. Louis A. Cabrera Haber, I'm sorry, MD. Then he stated that he bought a car or he purchased a car for a family member on drugs. The car was repossessed for non-payment. See, when you want to put my background out there, I don't put your background out there. I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nothing to hide. You could go down to Dade County Jail, all my records down there. But we got a city manager that's been here for a year. We still don't have a new city manager. We still talk about having backgrounds. We got people that were qualified to have the background, but yet we still got the same city manager up here playing games.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis. Citizens Forum is still open.
Good evening. Retired Chief Cheryl Cason for this great city of Opa-locka. First of all, thank you, Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Vice Mayor and Mayor for opening up the breast cancer awareness. Thank you. That was very much needed. And we do need to be aware as women that we need to take our mammograms because we're going to be here. Also, Mayor, awesome dittos to you for Friday. That was quick thinking on you when we had a problem, and it was good seeing you grow up, not angry, and handled that situation right away. Thank you. It went well. Also, I would like to say that we the people love our city. Isn't that right, people? We love our commissioners, our mayor, our vice mayor, Mr. Williams, all of you. The city is moving in a positive direction. Let me say this. It's hard. I know it's hard for all of you to come out here for the little money and be legislators for this city because you all live here and you share the concerns. We all share the concerns. Again, we say Rome wasn't built in a day, but I'm going to say this. We have to be mindful when we're talking about people because people's families are watching. A lot of things are being said. I'm receiving a lot of phone calls from a lot of citizens who are not happy about what they're seeing in front of the screen. People are talking about us with the negativity, but I'm going to say this, Mr. Manager, to you. Thank you for being cool, calm, and collected for this community, for your family, and for the employees, because I know it's hard for you to sit there and take some of the stuff and not react. Thank you. Thank you all for when you interject and stop it. I was looking at Surfside this morning. I don't know if you saw the news. They're coming up with something for a citizens forum where you get to speak one time a year, once. And if you want to speak again, you have to go before a board and you have to share with them. And it looks like it's going to pass. I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm going to say this and I'm going to sit down. Remember this to each and every one of you, especially you in leadership. Again, if nobody's following, you're only taking a walk. This city is moving positively. We can't fix it all at one time. What a flower needs to grow? Dirt. We all know that the rain gonna come. We're gonna have rainy days, don't we all? But guess what we need? Dirt. Because dirt is what makes the flower grow. So when people come and put you down because like TD Jake say, this part of your job assignment, people gonna talk about you when you're in leadership. That's part of the job assignment. The dirt that helps you grow, if you're doing something wrong, the dirt gonna help you fix it. If you're doing something right, you pat yourself on the back. So when people throw the dirt is good. It keeps us focused and it keeps us composed. Hello, everybody. Say thank you for your dirt. Thank you.
Citizens Forum is still open. Oh,
Good evening, everybody.
how you doing, Ms. Cromer?
My name is Ivy Cromer, 920 Curtis Drive, and I give Cheryl Cleason my time.
And we're fine. And some of Curtis Drive is here. Curtis Drive, show your live. We got our citizens here and we're here to promote and keep the city moving forward. And the foolishness has to stop. Hey, y'all, thank you for your dirt.
Citizens Forum is still open.
Bruce Baskin.
Wait, one second. Ms. Maya, can you fix the mic for Mr. Chris is coming? It's hard to hear it. And he's
All right, thank you.
all right. Go ahead, Mr. Bruce.
So Bruce Baskin, 2070 York Street. I know you tired of seeing me and I'm tired of coming. But as Chief Kaysen just said, along with that dirt, rain and sunshine, you need follow-up. Haven't heard anything from the city since my last time here talking about my fence and encroachment problem. And all I'm asking for is some feedback from someone, either the commission or the manager's office. That's needed. I need it. Thank you.
Citizens Forum is still open. Citizens Forum is closed. Somebody want? Oh, Citizens Forum is closed. And so we thank all of our residents that took their time out to come speak before us. Ms. Chief Kaysen, thank you for the support that you give to the city. Even after you stop serving as our chief, you still serve. And we thank you for that. Well, Ms. Cromer just came up to give her 3 minutes, but that lady that's one of the ladies that raised me. So I love her. Me and Chris go way back. And to Mr. Bruce, Mr. Manager, we need a follow-up for Mr. Bruce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our follow-up is the same as it was last year. The last commission meeting, as stated at that time, we are waiting on the surveys. The city has paid for surveys for all of the residents of York Street. As soon as we have those surveys, we'll be turning those over to the city attorney for review and additional follow-up.
All right, do we know how long before we get the surveys or something?
I'll add, I believe there was some surveys that came in today. I can have Ms. Adelina Gross from our capital improvement projects come and to give a status on those that were received today.
Okay.
Great. Ms. Gross?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner. The surveys came back today. We have asked for an additional survey to be provided with the boundary of Ingram Park. That will be provided to the city manager's office as soon as we receive it. And we are supposed to receive it by tomorrow afternoon. So all the surveys have been completed.
All the surveys have been complete, but you asked
Yes.
for an additional survey.
We want an overlay to present all the properties against the plat of the boundary of the park. To avoid any misconceptions or any distractions, because each survey is done individually. So you want to present that against the Ingram Park survey that we have done before.
Which you said you will receive tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow afternoon.
And then the plan of attack after that, Mr. Manager, will be to send those surveys, I believe you said to.
City Attorney's Office, sir.
And Mr. Manager, what I will need
Madam
through,
Attorney.
yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I will need is something in terms of a description of what those surveys represent, based on you all's analysis from your planning department. We're not planners, and we can certainly look into the legal aspects of it, but we will need some description and analysis done before you just send the surveys to our office. Thank you.
All righty. Okay, any questions to Ms. Gross?
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
I don't have a question, Ms. Gross. I will defer for the sake of time until we get finished with the voting items, but I want to address a lot of this is being said because Mr. Bruce has been here too many times to keep going through this runaround. And as I said last week, I'm not going to keep walking on eggshells, but I want to get to the voting items, but I'll direct it later under my report. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right. As we get ready to go into consent items, Madam Attorney, 13.5.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing travel expenditures in an amount not to exceed $1,500 for Commissioner Shirlene Bass to travel with the Opa-locka Historic Program during the month of October 2023, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Commissioner Bass.
All righty, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Well, she's not here, so Mr. Manager, would you like to present this item?
Thank you. I believe Commissioner Bass worked with this with the legislative aid, and that would be Ms. Ashley Walker. I'll have Ms. Ashley Walker come be available to answer any questions that the commission may have.
So Ms. Ashley Walker, can you present this item, please?
Good evening, Commission. The intent of this item is Commissioner Bass has been in touch with distant relatives of the City of Opa-locka's founder. So she would just be traveling with the Opa-locka Historic Program to be able to get archived information, memorabilia, and things that she can bring back to the city that will be potentially put into the City Hall once it's completed.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on this item? All right, Mr. Manager, I do a brief question. Number one, I know we only have a certain amount in the budget. So this, are we going to?
Yes, there will have to be a budget amendment done to incorporate all of the planned travel that the commission is looking to do for the fiscal year. When we did the budget item, we originally sent the budget up to the state because we had a discussion with members of the commission and we included all of those numbers in there. They sent it back saying they wanted to look at the historical data and they chopped away at both the city manager's travel expenses and the commission travel expenses and said that we would need to do a budget amendment if that travel actually that we proposed actually materializes.
Okay. All right. And
Mr.
then
Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
since the presenter brought it up, can you explain a little bit more? What is the historic Opa-locka Historic Program? Was that a agency? Is that outside entity or?
Oh, okay. So the program that was shared with me is that there are a lot of archived data and a lot of archived issues of pamphlets and papers that are in Atlanta that they're going to go look at and see if they can convince. And I'm paraphrasing here. This is again not my item. My understanding is they're going to look to see if some of those items can be brought back to the city of Opa-locka.
No, I understand the intent. I'm saying who is the Opa-locka Historic Program? It sounds like an entity. I understand the commissioner wanted to get information and bring it back to the city. I have no problem with that. I just want to know who was the historic program. It's like a title with the function. Okay, you can get that to us later. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. And then Mr. Manager, quick question, just a yes or no. I know there's a lot of policy changes that we did coming up in this new year. So is this going to be the new norm for travel? Because I know we go to Orlando, we did the Africa thing, we did the Tallahassee. So is this the new norm that travel must come before the commission?
Yes.
So going forward, okay. All right. All right. So duly noted. All right. So we can call the question.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Next item 13.6.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing expenditures related to a breast cancer community event to be hosted by Commissioner Veronica Williams in an amount not to exceed $5,000, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Commissioner Williams.
Move for discussion.
Move by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Commissioner Williams, would you like to present this item?
Yes, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a breast cancer event. Sponsored by myself. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say.
All right, so Commissioner Kelly moved this for discussion, so I'm gonna.
Thank you.
yield to-
I fully support the item. My question really was to the sponsor. If I'm not mistaken, the event you want to do really is citywide, I know, and you're hosting it, but it says not to exceed 5,000, which means it's quite a bit. And then based on the fact that our allotted amount now is only $5,000 I really wanted to propose and suggest to my colleagues that this be a city-wide initiative, although Commissioner Williams is hosting it, so it wouldn't come out of her allocation because it will deplete all of her funds and we're only in October. That's just something I want to put on the table to my colleagues. I know we have a line item for outreach events and things that are commission driven. And I think as all of us having our pink tonight, and it's been indicated, this is one of those that's driven, I think, by all of us, even though she's hosting it. So I would really like for us to consider that, so it does not deplete her budget item in case she wants to do something the rest of the year, since we all know the challenge of breast cancer awareness. And I think we all agree on the need to do it. So to the sponsor, I support the item. I just would prefer to my colleagues, we do it as a whole and not take it from your line item, that it just be city-wide. And I know in that line item, Mr. Mayor, to the manager, I know we have a dollar amount in there, and I'm quite sure it won't deplete it. So to the sponsor, I would just suggest that. Obviously, if you want to spend it this way, you can, but I think it would be more than right, since this is something that is nationwide, obviously citywide, that we would do it that way. I'd like to hear from my colleagues, and I propose a amendment if necessary. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly, no problem. I fully support it because I think this is something that, yeah. So can we, is there a,
Yeah.
oh, so I'll second that amendment. So Mr. Manager, is there a way, or what do we need to do to ensure that this money is allocated not from her personal contingency fund, but from, what was the line item you said, Commissioner Kelly?
I don't have it in front of me, but budget folks are here. They can find the line item.
Yeah. So it can be sponsored by the entire commission and come from the parks budget. But I believe that line item is placed that Commissioner Kelly's discussing. If that be the will of the commission.
Mr. Mayor,
I definitely agree with that.
I just want to
Commissioner
record,
Kelly.
we're all doing it, but you're still the host now.
No,
No, yeah.
I-
you're- All right, so I'll, so we can vote on the actual amendment, but I want to be clear, because, Mr. Manager, because you and Commissioner Kelly said two different things. You said the parks line item, and he said that there's a special awareness. I don't want to quote you, because I
No, not a special awareness. Remember, our
outreach or something.
activities and outreach are in the parks budget.
Oh, so that's,
But
okay,
there's a line item in there for these kind of things, so it can be taken out of there. That's why I said it like that.
okay. So, Madam Attorney, the amendment is to, instead of coming out of Commissioner Williams's personal contingency event fund, that it would come out of the parks budget, right, Mr. Manager? Right, okay, so we good?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
All right, it was moved by Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Mayor Taylor. Madam Clerk, roll call on the amendment.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes, definitely.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes on the amendment.
all righty, and if there is no other discussion on the actual item, we can call the question. Any other discussion? Madam
Commissioner-
Attorney, Madam Attorney?
Great.
Oh, you said,
No, I thought I heard somebody
Madam-
say something.
sorry, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin, Yes. Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Alrighty, next item. Madam Attorney, 13-7.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to accept the conveyance of the potable water and wastewater facilities at the Gratney Industrial Park located at 12805 Northwest 42nd Avenue, Opa-locka, Florida, from the developer Logistics Services Incorporated, and enter into an agreement attached here to as Exhibit A, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date.
Alrighty, Mr. Manager, I'm sorry.
For
can I get a
discussion.
Motion, for discussion by Commissioner Kelly. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is an item coming from our Public Works Department, looking to convey some of the water equipment that is currently owned by Prologix, but we want to have access and utilize it. And I have our Director for Public Works, Mr. Aria Austin, available here to answer any questions that the commission may have.
Okay. And we did open it up for discussion. Commissioner Kelly, you move for discussion? Or you want to hear
Thank you,
from?
Mr. Mayor. This also looks so sharp. I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Austin. Yeah.
I'm gonna temper my remarks with you. I mean, thank you for support. I support the item. My question really was, and it's kind of the same thing I mentioned in the briefing. So it may be a legal question. Is there a way, because we're going to accept this in totality after 5 years? Is there a way, because that's the warranty on it, 5 years?
Correct.
Is there a way for us to make sure that it is rechecked, and I may be using the wrong wording, rechecked, or to make sure it's still in good work before we assume it in 5 years and it falls apart? Is that language going to be in the agreement? Or is that something, how we approach that? That's really my question.
So the approach to that, Commissioner Kelly, I thought about it after we last spoke. And the city of Opa-locka is now proud owner of a ground penetrating radar system. We will conduct an inspection of the equipment 1 year prior to us, assuming full liability and responsibility for the equipment. If we find any degradation or any problems with the equipment, we can make sure the business owner is aware of that condition.
And address it. Is that in the agreement that we're doing? Because we're passing to accept it, after the 5 years, which I understand. But is a part of the agreement, is that writing or that language in there? So if we do find something with our new technology, they are responsible to address it.
Well, they will be responsible for 5 years. So if we find anything before 5 years, yes, they will be responsible as per the agreement.
Okay. All right. And so we have it notated in our records or somewhere that we're going to check it anyway before we assume.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to be sure that. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. All right.
Any other questions for? I do like that suit. Any other questions for our Public Works Director or the City Manager? All right, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty. As we go to item 13-14.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to issue a request for proposals, RFP, for a qualified consultant for professional recycling services at the city's municipal complex, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move for discussion.
Move for discussion by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager?
Thank you. This is actually an item that the administration is responding in support of an approved resolution by Commissioner Williams. She wanted to see recycling services here in City Hall, and we are now prepared to put out this RFP to find a contractor or a vendor that can provide the city with these type of services. So this RFP is in support of that item. The administration supports recycling, and we are asking for their approval from the commission.
All righty. Commissioner Kelly, open for discussion.
Thank you. I support the item. I remember when my colleague brought it up. I just, as I said in my briefing, would prefer since we're going to do the RFP, that instead of be 3-2, that it be 2-1, because so much changed over the course of time in government and business, et cetera. So I want to offer that as an amendment to the resolution, instead of being 3 years and 2 years on renewable, 2 years and 1 year on renewable, to give us an opportunity in case things were to change or the environment changes regarding this service. So I'd like to offer that as an amendment.
Absolutely.
All righty, so there's an amendment on the floor. Motion by Commissioner Kelly. Do I have a second on that amendment?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Attorney, are you comfortable with the amendment?
Yes, sir.
All right, Madam Clerk, roll call on the amendment.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
motion on the amendment passes.
All righty, do we have any other discussion on the actual item itself? All right, hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All righty, as we go into our next item, 1315, Madam Attorney?
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, ratifying the execution of an interlocal agreement with Miami-Dade County for Community Development Block Grant CDBG funding, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right,
Move it.
moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Mr. Manager?
Thank you. So this is this is asking for the commission to ratify the execution that my office, the city attorney office, and the city clerk's office, we missed the deadline to submit this to the county. And so we did not have time to bring it to the commission. So we want to bring it before the commission now after we have executed it, so that we will be able to continue to partner with the county for funding.
Okay, any discussion on this item? All right, the reason why I pulled this item, Mr. Manager, because I got your response to one of my colleagues is question from his agenda briefing stating that blaming me as the reason why this was late. And I want to set the record that I sent you an email about this in August. So I want to put that on record because when I read the email, you said that myself as well as Chris Wills knew about this and sent it to your office late. And I just want to set that record straight. Because Commissioner Kelly, because that email was sent to myself, all of my colleagues, all of your staff, and the state of Florida.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
I raised that in my briefing why it was late. And at the time, the assistant city managers didn't have the answer, but the manager did provide the email for this and some other things today. So after you were pulling it, I didn't, because I had the same concern, because CDBG funding, happens, deadlines are really almost the same pretty much every year. And so when I saw this, I was going to inquire why it was late. So you're basically saying that it was not on your behalf, because that's the way I interpreted the email as well. And I know all of us want to make sure we get our CDBG funding in place. So, yeah, okay. So someone has to be accountable. So I guess the bottom line is we're ratifying because it was done. But yeah, okay, I'll let you do it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to read into the record the email that was sent to me on September 20th. First, I'd like to say I was responding to Commissioner Crowley's query and certainly was not looking to blame you, which is why I intentionally said they reached out to the clerk's office, they reached out to the mayor's office. I have here the email that was sent to me from the Miami-Dade County Community Development, where they said that they were in communication with Mr. Wills. I'm not sure if you were on those phone calls, and they received direction from him that they received direction from him to proceed with the agreement, and they were waiting for execution. Just give me a moment, Mr. Mayor, and I will read that into the record.
Well, Mr. Manager, the only reason why I pulled it is because you called my name in the email. And I know for a fact that I sent you an email, and I can read that email into the record. And I can also provide it to the commission, but you called my name and our deputy clerk's name in that email, which is I wanted to set the record straight, like, because you sent it to all of your staff, the commission, as well as the state. And I don't want it to be said that the mayor is the reason why we almost lost that CDBG funding.
That is certainly not the intention of the email. That is certainly not what was stated. I verbatim, I was very careful in that response, wrote exactly what was written. Exactly. I knew it was going to be a sensitive topic. I'm sorry that you felt the need to pull this item, but it was certainly not looking to blame you. And I can provide this email to, just a moment. What else? Okay. On a member of the Miami-Dade County Public Housing and Community Development wrote an email to Mr. Wills and Mr. Wills only on copying her supervisor, James McCall, on Friday, June 23rd, 2023. Good afternoon, Mr. Wills. As per our conversation, I am forwarding you the email from May 5th, 2023. Please reach out if I can be of any further assistance, respectively. Christy Owens, and she forwarded the original email that was sent on May 5th. And then there was a follow-up from her supervisor on August 1st. Apparently after a conversation saying we are pleased, submitted to you and Mr. Wills only, saying, Dear Mayor Taylor and Mr. Wills, we are pleased that the city will remain in the urban county for 2024 through 2026. Please find the attached letter from Ms. White. We are requesting that the city sign and return the attached agreement by August 4th, 2023. Please reach out with any questions. Thank you. So at this time, after what it appears to be a conversation with either you and Mr. Wills or both of you, they submitted you an agreement for execution. And I'll provide these emails as well. That came from the county that were forwarded to me. Then they did an additional follow-up on Friday, September 1st, 2023. Dear Mayor Taylor and Mr. Wills, we have not yet received the urban county qualification agreement for the city of Opa-locka. Please advise by September 7th, 2023, the date by which the city of Opa-locka will be providing the signed agreement to the county. Thank you in advance for your assistance and effort in achieving compliance. And after that, I was told that he reached out to his boss, which is Alex Molina, who is a direct report to Mayor Cava, who then told him to direct all of his correspondence directly to me. And I received, he forwarded all these emails to me on September 20th. Again, not the intention of blaming anyone. We're just here to get the work done. We've got the execute. We were able to get an extension. We've got a ratification completed. We're looking for ratification now. We got the signatures that were needed and hoping to move the city forward for the opportunity to pull down some of these grants.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. But since we're reading the emails for the record.
Okay.
August 10th, 2023 at 1:01 p.m. I forwarded you an email from the person that you just said sent you that email. It says, good afternoon, Mr. Manager and Madam Attorney. The county has reached out to us to see if the city will opt in or out of participating with the Miami-Dade County's entitlement jurisdiction. Please read and reach out to them for better understanding and find out next steps needed to be taken. I believe this is time sensitive and was told that they have made several attempts to get in touch with someone from the city. Please circle back with me. Thank you in advance. And
Thank
that
you, Mr.
email,
Mayor.
so the only reason I pulled this item is because of what I read at 4:43 this afternoon. So I just wanted to set the record straight and clear my name because you clearly tried to throw me up under the bus. That's what it seemed like. Me
Again, I'm
and
sorry you
Teresa
felt that way,
Wells.
Mr. Mayor.
So we're gonna go ahead and call the question, Mr. Manager, and we are good. So I just wanted to, and I'll provide you a copy with that email as well as the attorney.
Mr.
But-
Mayor,
Go.
it still states in the email that they sent the agreement to you and Mr. Wills. And when we reached out, they stated that the agreement was sent to you and Mr. Wills. So at that time, it was the understanding of administration that this was going to be something executed through your office. That was not something that had to be executed through my office. And they state that in the email.
Okay, we can go back and forth, Mr. Manager, but the email was forwarded to you to take
Just wanted-
action.
and
And you know I don't make decisions like that. That's why I sent it to you
Okay.
on August 10th at 1:01 PM. Like, and that's, so I had no intentions of pulling it, but since you sent the email is the only reason why I did that. So please. So again, we can call the question. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Kelly had something to say.
Question that quick. I'll circle back later on in my comments. But CDBG funding and the CDBG funding cycle really does not change from year to year. It's really a standard type process. I've been mayor, it goes to the mayor. I know that. I'm looking at the email what the mayor sent it to the managing attorney on August 10th. But those things, especially types of funding, whether they're grants, whether they're county programs or state programs, some of them have certain deadlines every year. And especially when we're a city that is always looking for funding, we should be on the lookout to know CDBG funding cycle is coming, to know certain FERDAP grants are coming from the state, to know certain funding opportunities going to come. So even if we don't get the email or get it, someone in staff should always be looking out for those because they're funding opportunities. Now, you, Mr. Mayor, and the manager can whatever y'all want to do. But when I saw it, I was concerned because I know CDBG funding is not something that just pops up. It comes up every year around the same time. So hopefully going forward, we can, y'all address that part. This tonight is to ratify so that we can hopefully get some funding. But there's some internal challenges there that need to be dealt with. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No problem, Commissioner Kelly. We can go ahead and call the question, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, Madam Attorney, we're going into our first reading ordinances.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending Article 4 of the city's land development regulations entitled Off-Street Parking and Loading Requirements to specifically amend Section 2-152F entitled General Principles to provide for outdoor storage of vehicles only in a designated parking space, prohibiting double parking and requiring that all areas are free from unsightly conditions, amending Article 4 of the city's land development regulations, specifically Section 2-160 C4 entitled Permitted Off-Street Parking to require a current valid license plate for residential parking and further requiring that vehicles parked at commercial industrial parking facilities have a valid license plate and or bill of sale and work order posted visibly on the driver's side window, including VIN number for vehicle business name, address, and telephone number, providing for severability, providing for codification in code, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. I'll present the item. A couple meetings ago, a couple businesses came before us talking about how their cars were being tagged from code enforcement for being parked in their parking spots in front of their building. We had that issue, I believe, off of I don't remember the actual name of the street, but since then, myself, code enforcement and the management office all met with that, those business owners and several other business owners. And this is what we came up with because we saw that there was opportunities in our code because our code does not allow for cars to be parked in parking spots. So this is what this was the middle ground that we came up with. And that's,
I have a question.
yes, ma'am.
Do the work order have to be posted visibly?
Yes, ma'am.
Why so?
We did that. Code enforcement felt that it was good for that. That way we know that the car's not stolen. So it will have the work order, will have the VIN number, who owns the vehicle, what business name, who owns the vehicle, and what was the other thing? The business name, phone, contact information, so they can know which car belongs to what business.
Okay.
And it's not their personal cars. It's the
Oh, I
cars that they're,
understand.
okay.
When I saw work order, I'm thinking it's gonna say what's wrong with the card. Like,
No.
okay. Thieves go come get it.
Any other questions for this item? All right, Madam. Huh? Oh, this is a public hearing. I'm sorry. This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. Any other discussion for this item? Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes first reading.
All right, we're going into our second reading ordinances. Madam Attorney?
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, granting the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, a perpetual easement donation for parcel 18,800 within the city, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for severability, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for scrivener's errors, providing for an effective date. The first reading and public hearing was held on September the 13th, and this is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, can I get a motion?
We'll move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor. This is, Mr. Manager, can you present? And then we'll open up for public hearing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is an item coming from our Public Works Department to get a perpetual easement donation for parcel 800 through FDOT. And we have our Director of Public Works, Mr. Ira Austin, here to answer any questions that the commission may have.
All right, this is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. Do we have any questions for Mr. Austin on this item? Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, Madam Attorney?
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City of Opa-locka's Code of Ordinances entitled City Commission, Section 2-27 entitled Expense Account for Mayor and each City Commissioner to increase monthly expense reimbursement allowances for the City Commission, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for severability, providing for conflict in code, providing for a repealer, providing for scrivener's error, providing for an effective date. The first reading and public hearing was held on September the 13th, and this is sponsored by Commissioner Williams.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor, Commissioner Williams.
Okay. So this ordinance or the amendment to the ordinance is to increase the mayor and commission's monthly expense that has been on record for several years now as $200. And we know with the increase in everything that's gone up, not just gas, but everything, it is to increase to a monthly expense of $300.
Okay, this is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is open. Hearing none, seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any questions for the sponsor on this item? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, Madam Attorney, next item.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending Article 11, Division 5, Section 2-530 of the City of Opa-locka's Code of Ordinances entitled Powers of the Human Resources Director to specifically add new paragraph 11 to provide that the Human Resources Director may be considered an outside entity, firm, or professional contracted by the City Commission to perform the duties and responsibilities of the Human Resources Department as set forth within the City of Opa-locka's Charter, Code of Ordinances, and or as otherwise determined appropriate by the City Commission, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for severability, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for scrivener's errors, providing for an effective date. First reading was held on September the 20th, and this is sponsored by the City Commission.
Okay,
Move it.
moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Attorney, can you present this item, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. As the commission knows, the city is currently without a human resources director and has been for a little while now. And to deal with this issue, the city, the question that was asked was whether the city commission would be able to hire or have available for itself to change its code, which it does have the authority to do. And so this issue addresses the Human Resources Director being an outside entity to be hired by the City Commission. Now, one thing I will add is the Human Resources Director, since the time that this passed on first reading, you all know that the one of the items that was a companion item for an RFP that was on tonight's agenda, the state recommended that the city manager be the person that would actually hire the firm or make the final selection of the firm. You all would shortlist. And so, as you know, from your agenda briefings, you're shortlisting, but the city manager would make a final determination. So if you have at least two firms that you shortlist to, the city manager would make the determination. And so as a part of this item and as a correction to address, there's one sentence in here that where it says to be hired by the City Commission actually is to be hired by the city manager. But the changes in the ordinance itself in terms of adding the language where it says the Human Resources Director may be considered an outside entity, firm, or professional contracted by the City Commission to perform the duties and responsibilities of the Human Resources Department as set forth within the City of Opa-locka's Charter, Code of Ordinances, or is otherwise directed and appropriate by the City Commission. That language would be fine, other than to be, well, it would be contracted by the commission. So it still would be contracted by the commission. But I just want you to make you aware of in terms of the hiring. You follow me? So the firm would be contracted. The language is fine, but the hiring, once it's shortlisted, would be actually or working along with the city manager, according to the guidance from the state. And they say that there's nothing wrong with us having it this way. It's just that they believe it would be best practices for the city manager to work and be in control of that function.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. Any discussion on this item?
Mr. Mayor,
Oh, Commissioner Kelly?
I'm going to support the item. And but I'm semi-challenged with that statement, best practices, which we're shortlisting, but the manager will hire. Only because the state has oversight of our finances and not to prolong the time, because we need to get this done. But I just want that notated, but I'm going to support it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Kelly. And Madam Attorney, just for clarity, so the manager will hire the person after we do the short list.
Right. The manager, after you do the short list, will hire the person. correct.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Williams?
And as also for clarity, I believe I heard you say they will be contracted by the commission. It sounds a little,
Well, yeah, it will be a
confusing.
contract with the city, and only the city commission can contract with any entity. Like the manager has absolutely no authority to contract with anybody without the consent of the city commission.
Okay.
And so for that reason, I think the language is fine. There, in terms of the RFP, they didn't have a problem with this ordinance at all. They have a problem with the resolution in terms of the RFP. And so we modified the RFP to comport with their desire of best practices. And from my conversations with them, it wasn't so much, they're not looking at this particular manager, they're looking at any manager that you might have in terms of best practices. So, aside from all of the whatever the situations have been recently, they're not looking at this situation. They're looking at it and globally in terms of how it might tie into just working together with that function.
Okay.
no, I want to just, I guess, put on record, I agree with Commissioner Kelly. I'm going to support the item because this is what I definitely wanted to happen. But I really wanted to, and just to put that on record for the commission to have had more control in the process so that we can ensure that we have, an entity that's not biased or any issues that way. So that does challenge me, but we'll move forward.
Okay. Any other concerns on this item? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right, as we go into our city manager's report. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very, very excited to share the progress that our capital improvement projects department is making with the restoration of historic City Hall. We are still on track to have that completed by December of this year, and look forward to getting feedback from the commission on some items onto how we reopen and have that accessible to the public. So very, very excited to make that announcement. In addition, we're also coming from our capital improvement projects. We will soon have a $1.2 million new location for our police department with the rehab that's soon to be completed from the grants that we received from the state regarding our police station. So we're going to be having a grand opening for that. Very, very excited to be pushing that forward. I know our chief of police is going to be very, very excited to be pushing that forward as well. Next, we have, in addition, so expect some announcements with regard to that. In addition, we've been working with the Flying Classroom in Barrington Irvin to reserve some slots for Opa-locka residents to get training for jobs that are high-paying jobs in the aviation industry and in the mechanics industry. We were able to reserve a few of those slots for Opa-locka residents, and they have gotten enrolled. Very, very excited for that because that's going to be something really, really important to help move the city forward. One of the challenges has been is not just getting in the development agreement, the developers to agree to pay for and host job fairs. Oftentimes, some of our residents that do come out for these jobs, they're unable to secure the jobs because they don't have the appropriate funding. So now through our community development department is not only just getting them to host these jobs, it's also getting them to getting training to our residents so that they can get the opportunity to take the jobs once they're offered. So super excited about that. Also have a similar program with Ariel Lundy, working with him on that program to also get Opa-locka residents employed. Excited to, excited, but I need to report that we are continue to make some progress with Glorietta Gardens. As announced, they have paid most of, I would say, most of all of their outstanding permit fees. There are some fees owed to code enforcement and there's some fees owed to the public works that are still outstanding. But happy that they are making some progress in that department. We'll continue to see progress made at the Opa-locka flea market as those vendors begin to get stabilized and are beginning to come in, get their building a license, which provides additional revenue to the city as well as additional jobs. So continue to make some strides and progress there. And we're excited about that. Have some big announcements in our police department. We're going to be putting forth some accommodations. We've received some letters from some extraordinary things that have been happening there. So I want to keep you eye on the lookout for that. Now, it's a bittersweet pill that we recently ended our 69-day streak of no crime. But even then, this is a historic new for the city of Opa-locka. We're very excited to be announcing these crime statistics. We just keep getting better and better in that arena. Our officers are trained. They've received competitive salaries. They've got the appropriate equipment. They've got the new cars, and they're doing a phenomenal job for the city of Opa-locka. This concludes my report at this time.
Okay, any questions to the city manager on his report? All right,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
thank you. Mr. Manager, you referenced Glorietta Apartments, the update. Is work being done there?
There is some work being done there, but they have not submitted to, I believe I'm expecting a plan to come to our building and license department that they're going to proffer on Friday as far as what they plan to do as far as the rehabilitation.
Has the consent agreement been signed and reviewed by the city attorney?
No, I do not have the consent agreement yet. That has been continually postponed. I'm expecting it, I believe they said now next Tuesday, which I'll be submitting it to the city attorney as soon as I receive it.
Okay, you indicated at your September 25th meeting at Shabani Village with the tenants about working with management. I've gotten calls about folks stuff still in the units regarding storage. What's the latest on that?
Yes, that is another thing that they've been going back and forth with the management. Their agreement, their verbal agreement was to move all of the tenant stuff. And this is also supposed to be in the consent agreement, perhaps one of the reasons why they delayed in submitting it. When they moved the tenants out, they were to move the residents' belongings out as well and place them, first have them mold remediated and place them in a climate controlled storage. The city even went so far as to reach out to warehouses here within the city to see if they would provide a space, and we've done that. However, Glorietta Gardens has been slow to move out the residents' belongings. And in lieu of that, we also requested that they beef up their security so that residents' things, because people know that there's nobody in that building and those residents' things are there. So we also demanded that they have security roam that building so that nobody's breaking into those units and taking the residents' things. So they have made some movement on that. Next motion, they need to definitely move those residents' items out of that building.
I hear the word movement, I hear the word, but those tenants, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one, getting calls every day about challenges still at Glorietta and lack of work being done. And of course, while we know it's private property and owned by someone else, because we've been so involved, a lot of folks are looking at us to do everything. So I'm going to continue to ask, at least on a weekly basis, my colleagues can get it as well, if they'd like a update on whatever's going on or has occurred over the week of Glorietta Apartments. I also want to ask, have all the employees outside of the bargaining units received the increase that the commission passed earlier this year?
I'll ask the finance director, Mrs. Naima Walker, to come up and address that question for you, Commissioner.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Naima Walker, Director of Finance. Yes, to answer your question.
Okay, I'd like to get a copy of that, a list of that. The fact that or email would you, that all employees have been received whatever the assistance outside the bargaining unit. They've all received what the commission said they would get.
Correct, yes.
Okay,
We'll
I
get that to you, Commissioner.
yeah, I can get to go, Commissioner.
Okay, yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I want to segue to something else. That's why I said I'd wait till after the voting items. I want to know, Mr. Manager, and I have to wait till I get to this forum, so it doesn't appear that I'm trying to overstep my boundaries. Why wasn't legislation passed by this commission? Why was it ignored and not adhered to? I'm gonna give you a couple examples. One, legislation was passed that Meet Me Monday concerns, which by the way, are concerns from the community, residents, business owners who pay taxes, would be addressed no later than 10 days after submission. I submitted Meet Me Monday concerns from the September 11th meeting via email as documented on September 19th. I subsequently sent another email documented on October 3rd to Ms. Lawson, who at the time was the interim city manager left in charge, because residents were asking me about responses, inquiring as to the status for responses. Finally, on Tuesday, which was yesterday, I received responses from you to residents' concerns. Why do we pass legislation and give directives if they're not going to be addressed? To follow up on this, and that's why I said I'd wait, the lack of responding to citizens, as you heard one come up, you heard last meeting a former commissioner talk about how she felt her efforts to find that information and express concerns related to possible code violations. And then a few weeks ago, we had citizens here in this chamber who expressed concerns about issues related to canal cleaning, traffic issues on Opa-locka Boulevard. I reached out to those residents a few days later and discovered nothing had changed. No communication from the manager or staff. I reached out again last week because I've been sending emails also. The resident said to me the public works director had been in contact and now was turned over to the city attorney for next steps. Again, on yesterday, I finally received an email from the interim city manager stating that they are looking to add additional signage. And could I provide the contact information of the resident and to possibly do a walkthrough? I don't talk from just talk. I talk from document and emails. This has been over a month. We have staff who takes names, numbers to follow up on. Why would I be asked to provide the contact information? Please keep in mind that the citizen who made the concern here in this chamber last month was still not contacted as of yesterday, because I spoke with him to find out if anyone reached out to him. Unacceptable to me. And I know people come up and they give you your praise and your accolades. When you do it right, I'll do the same thing. But as I said last meeting, I'm not going to sit here and walk on eggshells. Please keep in mind, the citizens put us here. We're here to serve the community. The manager, the city clerk, and the city attorney work for the commission. Everybody has a boss, contrary to what some people believe. Everybody has a boss. We have one. It's the citizens. The appointed officials do. We're their boss. We don't run day to day for the appointed officials, but we are due timely information, having our concerns addressed, and having policy that is set, carried out. On too many occasions, I've had to find out what is happening, who's visiting our city, and even certain events through social media. As an elected official, it's quite interesting to hear things, and my colleagues may not want to acknowledge it, but I'll put it out there. Things that are being planned in this city regarding taxpayer dollars or other projects during site visits from others or residents or through social media postings. Even simple things, as you mentioned about the job fair. I saw the job fair that was hosted at Helen Miller on social media from a citizen. I didn't get any correspondence from management or staff or anyone to say there was there. I couldn't say to residents, there's a job fair going to be taking place because I wasn't aware of it. And if that wasn't enough, we find ourselves in a budget dilemma with the possibility of not meeting a December 31st deadline that was set by JLAC. I asked numerous times during the budget process about staffing and indicated the need for additional staffing to make sure we could meet our challenges. I wasn't the only one. Look at the tape. Another one of my colleagues asked the same question. After much discussion, management told us there'll be some new hires to assist, and that would be sufficient. While I did not agree then, this was the plan. Fast forward, after hearing Mr. Brunson a few meetings ago, and even with the proposed timetable of the new firm that was hired, the deadline will be challenged to be met. These are critical issues if the city is going to survive. Again, I'm basing this on all the information that's presented to us as a commission. I will wait on the response regarding this because I know the mayor has it under his report. In addition to these challenges, we're all aware of the hard and heartfelt stories from vendors and staff, people not getting paid, business owners who follow the process that is given, not paid in a timely manner. And I'm not going to blame it on the state. It is our fault internally. The state has a process. We know what it is. Folks are not being paid 2 and 3 months. We've had events up here where we've contracted or tried to get folks and they won't do it because they haven't been paid from previous things. And I'm not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about a few thousand, 400 or 500, that people can't get paid what they owe. And we sit here in meetings or in briefings hearing about how much money we have in the bank, how much we save, how much money we have because we haven't hired people to fill positions in our city workforce. And yet the city residents, business owners looking for employment, torn streets, flooding challenges, all of these things taking place. We have residents asking for more police presence and enforcement of speeding laws, blocking intersections. It seems to fall on deaf ears. I've submitted pictures, I've shown it, and placing an empty patrol car somewhere at a location is not a deterrent. It may not be popular, but I'm not here for popularity. In addition, we're supposed to have a comprehensive beautification plan by now. And we're just now tonight sending out an RFP for an urban forestry plan. I appreciate the work the beautification division has done. I appreciate their efforts because they're doing the best they can. But what happened to the citywide plan? Mr. Manager, I want to see that plan. I want to know what that plan is because I was told that we had a big plan coming. We had an initial beautification initiative over at Coachman Gardens, but since then, nothing. The community deserves more. And all of these things are not new ideas or concepts. Some of them were brought forward before I came back in December of 22. And here we are, still overgrown trees, and yet we're planting more. Trees with dirt and rock for a skirt, while other cities have a nice dark dirt and soil and mulch. Ride around. You'll see it. I don't have to make it up. Even have plans to do more, but through a matching grant and reimbursable projects if approved. Look at the streets now. The overgrown lots owned by the city, the thoroughfares which need sprucing up. And yet we will cite citizens or businesses at the drop of a hat for the same things or less. We've had project timelines given to us and then changed with no explanation. We have a moratorium on something that was said the last meeting, not approved by the commission. That is enough for me. As an elected official representing my community, I will follow the law. I will follow the rules that afforded me to represent our community, but I will not be silent. Mr. Manager, all the concerns that you asked about, you can give them to me via email. Also give them to my colleagues so they can have them. But I'm saying tonight, we here, all of us are held accountable for our actions. And I'm not going to sit here and act like everything is great when there are major challenges going on. It's not popular. I don't care about being popular, but I care about my community, just like all of us do. So we can fluff it, you can hide behind it, we can ignore it, but I won't ignore it. I will not do it. I will not do it. If there's something done good, I'll give credit. If I see something not, I'll call it out. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'll put it on notice tonight. Putting on notice tonight. We only have 3 folks answer us: the manager, the clerk, and the attorney. Mostly everybody else works underneath them. But I want to be clear. It's not the picture that we want to paint, because we have a lot of folks in our community that are hurting, that are in need, and are looking for their government to just provide the basics and communicate with them. Not that we always got the answers, but communicate with them. Don't have them come up here, give 3 minutes out of their busy time, take their name, number, and never get back with them. That's not, in the words of my son, that ain't cool. It's not. We can do better. And I believe we will do better. At least I'm gonna do my part to make sure. And if that means following up with legislation, I'll do that as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other discussion or comments to the manager? All right. As we move forward to our official, do we have any official board reports, Madam Clerk?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, so we're gonna go into our mayor and commission reports. We can start left to right. Commissioner Williams.
Yes, real quick for, to go back, Madam Clerk, the board reports. If you can just give me any, updates on the teen and young adult advisory. Have they started meeting? What's the update on that?
Mr. Mayor.
Um,
So we do have enough members at this time for a quorum on the board. However, that board is to be assigned a board clerk from the manager's office. And at this time, we do not have that board clerk. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me retract that. There was a board clerk assigned, Ms. Walker, and I'm not sure where we are with that process. I'm not sure if she wants to come up through the manager
I
and
can
provide
get
an update on that board.
The teen and young adult board only has 3 members. I reached out to 3 of them. None of their schedules are coordinating to be able to conduct a meeting at this time. I did speak with Ms. Lawson and let her know that. So once they have an additional member or they have a schedule that each one of them can meet on the same day, then we'll start meeting for that. We're prepared to start meeting with them.
Thank you. Is it because they're evening that you're asking them, or do they have the option of daytime or evening to meet?
Well, I'm obligated to, I'm here from 8 to 5, so it'd have to be after.
Oh, no, when you said their schedules.
Yeah,
schedules
so for
outside
instance,
of,
one is, 2 of them are able to meet one day out the week, but the other one isn't available. So once we have a date that all 3 of them are able to meet, then we'll start meeting with them.
can those meetings be via Zoom?
As a new clerk, I don't recommend.
I'm gonna go default
Oh.
to the city.
No, ma'am.
No, okay. Okay. Just trying to get, I mean, so, and it's not, it's all of us, we need to try to take a little bit more, figure out how we can get some more, not just those that we've nominated, but
Mhm.
there can be more board members, correct?
Right.
Like,
It can be up to 5.
okay. The, we've been hearing a lot and we've heard a lot that we don't reach out, but we're trying,
Yeah, I have.
So it's, yeah, I just want us, and I'm bringing it just so I can put on a record that our residents know that as a board and as a commission, we're trying to do our best to make this happen so that our teens and young adults do have a voice. Like I tell the students at my school, help me help you. So we need our teens, young adults, help us help you. And so if you want to be a part, please get involved and reach out to the clerk's office. Thank you.
But on that, before you finish your report, Madam Commissioner Williams, in that same vein, what about the local financial oversight board?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We are waiting some additional hires from our finance department. That clerk will be, the local finance oversight board will be a clerk from the finance department, and we're waiting to hire some additional staff so we can assign someone to clerk that board for you.
Does it have to be from the only reason the urgency is I know that I believe JLEC has a meeting on Monday.
Mhm.
So by now we should have had
If
something.
it be your recommendation for us to look outside the finance department, we certainly will do that.
Not necessarily my recommendation, but I would hope that the finance department would be there to support or to answer any questions. But if a clerk is the problem, can we get another clerk and just allow the finance director, if through you, to actually answer any questions that that board may have at that time? But I just want us to move this along because, yeah,
Absolutely.
we're in session.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm
And-
sorry.
No. I failed to last meeting publicly thank Vice Mayor for the Disney on Ice. I know you mentioned it, but it was actually my first time going since I was a little girl, and which was just like maybe last week. Anyway, and so I just wanted to thank you. And it's one thing when you said it, but just from my perspective, seeing all those beautiful Black and brown children, and their eyes just lit up, seeing the Disney characters, and just so that our group knew every song. They sang every Disney song the loudest, the loudest, right? And the one song I knew, I just yelled it myself. And so, but just really, thank you all actually for all the wonderful events that you've been bringing this year, and allowing the residents for us to work collectively to make things happen in the city in spite of. So I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to just real quick put a pin in something. I know we have our own collective meetings and different things that we do, but at the end of the day, we have Citizens Forum. And so Citizens Forum is the official place where our citizens come to speak and give their not just problems, but solutions and issues that are happening within our city. So I don't want to take away from what our official process is, which is Citizens Forum. Nothing else oversights that. So so please know, to all of our residents, make it a point that you can attend or go to any other functions, but Citizens Forum is where, as all 5 of us as a dais, we will know what those concerns are collectively so that we can also help as well. Thank you.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
Hello. I am happy Let me say that. I want to thank the manager's office, Parks and Rec, our community, our kids, our parents, our coaches, and especially our police department. You all did an awesome job on Saturday getting us through our parade. Very much appreciated. In the past, we had one lane, so we're walking one lane and the cars driving the next lane. Officer Bosque say, no, we're not doing that. That don't sound safe. So they actually blocked off the whole south side of 27th Avenue and allowed our kids the opportunity to walk down the entire street, well, not worry about their safety at all. Very much appreciated. And Officer Donahue, once again, I appreciate having a drug-free park. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you to the employees, Parks and Rec, everybody that did their fair share in making sure that our kids was extremely happy on Saturday. And they were. You had to see it. If you're on Facebook, you probably seen some of the videos and stuff like that. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Manager, for supporting Parks and Rec the way that you do. I appreciate it. And thank you again to Parks and Rec and that police department. Thank y'all.
Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On Friday, September 29th, we held a street designation for former Vice Mayor Johnson. It was a beautiful time, reflection and honoring her life and legacy. I want to thank all the city staff that helped to make it a special occasion for the family and the community. And then on that Saturday morning at Ingram Park, we hosted a fishing tournament for all ages, including our senior citizens. It was a time of fun, fellowship, and as Vice Mayor said, if you go on Facebook, you saw the pictures, and yes, they did catch fish and even a turtle. Special thanks to all the city staff who worked together to make it a success, and it was so well received and attended. We've already received inquiries about when we will be hosting another one, so stay tuned. Special thanks to Parks and Rec for the effort as well. On last Wednesday, October 4th, we held our farm share, which is co-hosted by Vice Mayor Irvin and Mayor Taylor at Shabandi Pavilion. Of course, next Friday, October 20th, from 10 to 1, we're over at Siegel Park hosting our Feeding South Florida food distribution for the community. So please pass the word. I was honored to support Opa-locka. Did I say it right, Mr. Mayor? Opa-locka as part of our Hispanic Heritage Month here in the city on last Friday evening. Despite numerous proddings, I did not do the tango, but I commend the mayor hosting and showcasing some of our diversity as a community. I did have the privilege of attending, supporting our homecoming parade this past Saturday. Shout out to you, Vice Mayor, the Booster Club, Parks and Rec, city staff, all the coaches and parents for a great homecoming. And we won games. I thought I'd add that for Coach Dakari, when we won games. Also on Saturday afternoon, we hosted a citywide prayer fellowship with churches here in the city with Pastor Cruz as our host church. It was a special time of prayer and encouragement for our community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for bringing greetings and even leading the praise team. That's on video too. We got that. Next week is City Government Week across the state. And so as part of that, next Thursday, October 19th, I, along with my co-host, Commissioner Bass, will host a mock commission meeting with students from Nathan B. Young at 9:30 a.m. and Robert Ingram at 3:30 p.m. right here in the chamber. They're going to have their own elected and appointed officials in place here in the chamber, debate and have legislation to vote on. And all of our colleagues invited, as well as our appointed officials, to stop by if your schedule permits and speak to the young people. And since we high tech now, if you can't make it in person and want to call in briefly to speak to the students, you are more than welcome to do so. I am excited that Ingram Park, along with all of our parks, are open every day, including Sundays. We just need to make sure that we notify the residents of the hours and days and also the activities that will be taking place at Ingham Park. As we approach November, and I didn't hear Vice Mayor mention, maybe the mayor's gonna mention, I look forward to working with all of us on our Thanksgiving outreach and maybe something extra. And finally, we did not have Meet Me Monday on this past Monday due to the city holiday, but we will resume next month. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and I'm gonna go quick with my report because we need an update from the city manager on the financial oversight. So I want to thank all that participated in this Friday's Hispanic Heritage our Opa-locka Street Festival. Shout out to the manager's office, the manager himself, to our city clerk's office, job well done, to our police department. Thank you all. And this Friday we know is bingo. So we'll see you all at Shabundi Village. Spread the word. And Vice Mayor said, and wear a costume. Commissioner Kelly already alluded to this, but the Thanksgiving date and flyer is coming soon. We know that all of us are donating or getting donations for turkeys. So we collectively are putting something together where we will all present something as a whole. And also, Commissioner Kelly, I need a shirt from the fish fry. I missed it. So I want my shirt. And Mr. Manager, I do have a question. The concept of free rides and transportation, is a RFP needed for that? And the second question is two-part question. And the second question is, can the tax dollars be used for that purpose?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, RFP is necessary and we're working to craft one now. And we are looking to utilize TIF dollars for that. Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, CITT dollars.
CITT dollars?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to, I sent you, well, I sent it to your email. So other than that, and Mr. Manager, can we get an update on the financial oversight?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and I am calling Mrs. Naima Walker, our finance director, to answer and give you a question, provide you an update on that.
Again, so we have a two-person team that's been on site for the current year's activity, fiscal year 23. And we also have a three-person team that's been on site working on fiscal year 22 items for the audit process.
Two-person team for, I'm sorry.
For current year activity.
For current year activity.
Correct. Because we are short-staffed.
And then a three-person team for the audit.
Yes.
Okay, so my question through the manager, or the manager can answer this himself. I know my challenge is that the issue was the short staffing of the finance department. And I know I asked, could we get temps in here in order to fill those vacant positions in order to push this along? So
Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. We are working on getting temps to fill those positions as well.
okay, and then my next question is, we was a little iffy on the completion date of the audit. Can we, what do we have a timeline of when the internal audit is going to be done to be passed on to Markham? I don't know the new company, so that's why I said internal auditor to Markham, and then when they will be completed to be submitted to the state, because, yeah.
So I believe there was an appendix attached to the resolution that was submitted at the prior commission meeting that identified, I want to say February 2020, January of 2023. It was a typo. It should have said January of 2024. However, that has been updated to now state February 2024, the end of February 2024, as the date that the entire process will be complete, not just the internal auditor's portion. They work in tandem. So as the internal accounting consultants pull together the financial statements, they present that to the external auditor who starts auditing that work. But then at the same time, just like a ping pong effect, there's items that have to be reviewed, reconciled, discussed, updated. So it's a constant flow, but between both efforts.
So okay, only reason you said January?
It's February of 2024.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I thought he said March or something. Okay, so February of 2004. So then my next question, Mr. Manager, is JLAC is meeting on Monday. So have we been in contact with them to say, listen, we know we said this date, but we're gonna need a little bit more time. So is that
Yes.
something that we're working on, or we're,
Yes, we've been in contact with them since every month since the summer.
With-
With this, yes. The answer is yes.
all right? All right, any other questions for the, oh, and Mr. Manager, also, I asked you to provide the commission with a written report. So can we do that weekly to see, so we know where we are, just something? Cause, yeah.
Okay.
To provide us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions about the financial audit to Ms. Walker or the manager? All right, hearing none. All right. Any official board appointments? Seeing none.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner.
Just the date, what is the date for our Thanksgiving? Because I didn't hear a date. I know we're working.
We're working on one.
What's the date? We don't know yet.
We're gonna poll everybody because
Okay.
I know you have people that are donating. I have people that are
No, I know we
donating.
all, we just.
But we was
I was
gonna,
gonna say, Mr. Mayor, I do too, so, yeah.
so we're gonna poll everybody to make sure that we are all, that it works for everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, our hearts and minds are clear. We, okay, Vice Mayor? Very much.
Just a quick reminder, two things. One, save the date for our Halloween haunted house at Shabundy Park. That's October 31st, 5:30, I think it is. It starts 5:30. That is at 5 p.m. And also keep our girls in prayer as they go to a cheerleading competition this Sunday. And all of our teams are going to the next level in football. So keep them prayerful too. We have home games. Well, big boys are going to Belgrade, right?
Can you provide, Mr. Manager, can you provide the commission with a schedule?
Have us all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Some of us are home, I know.
Football mom. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we just want to say, because we're getting ready to adjourn, we want to keep what's going on the other side of the world in prayer. We want to keep that in prayer. And we also want to keep Commissioner Bass, who's under the weather. We also want to keep her in prayer. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Moved by
Second.
Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Williams. This meeting is adjourned. Have a great night. You ain't gonna lie on me. You ain't gonna lie on me.